Hi, everyone. It's Ms. Diaz. We have a guest today. His name is Robert, and he's going to be talking to us a little bit about what he does to help out the environment. So I'll let Robert talk real quick about what he does.
Hi, everyone. My name is Robert Figueroa. I'm the founder of Paddle with a Purpose, which is a nonprofit organization that collects trash from our waterways down here in South Florida.
Awesome. So I thought it would be cool to interview you, just basically just to get to know why you do some of the things that you do, such as cleaning up waterways. So we'll start with the first question. What does your organization do?
So, our organization, Paddle with a Purpose, aims to create awareness and excitement about the pollution problem in our waterways. What we do is we get people like your students involved in volunteering to get on the water and to collect trash from our waterways and to raise awareness about the problem that we're facing with all of our waterways around the world and the pollution that's impacting them.
Cool. Awesome. What got you interested in helping out the environment in this way?
So believe it or not, I got interested in the environment at a very early age watching Captain Planet. I think that's still even on TV these days, but just seeing the ways that people and companies could negatively impact the environment and having people or heroes like Captain Planet do amazing action to reverse that damage, it really stuck with me throughout my life. And a lot of your students may not know, but you and I went to high school together, and in high school, we learned the value of volunteering. So that was instilled in us at a very early age and kept with me throughout my adulthood.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Why do you, so just to go into what you do, I guess, every day, like, so you collect trash from waterways, right? So what made you, I guess, focus on that instead of like, because I know there's so many different ways that you can volunteer to help clean up the environment, but
Yeah,
why was that one of the specific areas that you wanted to help since you live down in South Florida, right? So like,
exactly. So that's what happened. I moved to South Florida in 2017.
Mhm.
And at that point, I got on the water because I loved being around the water. And I saw a lot of trash in our waterways, kayaking, just going through as a regular person, just having fun. And I started to think, how could I, get involved and reverse this damage? So I reached out to the city of Fort Lauderdale,
Mhm.
and I went through their programs, and I met with the chief service officer, who is the person in charge of all the volunteer programs for Fort Lauderdale. And we had a one-on-one talk, and he said, there's nothing like this that you're talking about that you would like to do. So why don't we create a program for you? And that's how Paddle with the Purpose began. It was just him and I that went out the first couple times with neighbors in the area that had an area that they could launch our kayaks from. And it expanded into a huge project that, is making a big impact
Nice.
every for the last 3 years.
Nice. See, I feel like little things like that, like, you have an idea, but like actually put it into action really like makes a big change in the area that you live in, Like we all want to do good things, but then we actually have to get them started for them to come to fruition or come true, right?
Totally. And it's about working with what you love to begin with. Like I loved getting on the water, and I started seeing problems in that experience, and that's where it started. So, advice to your students is do what you love already and then start to see how you can positively change or impact the things that you're doing already.
Yeah, that's so true. It makes it something, it's not a job then it's like something
Ex-
you're doing out of passion.
exactly.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah.
Wait, so I call him Bobby. His name is Robert. He
Yeah.
said he went to high school with me, so I might
My
slip up.
closest friends and family call me Bobby. So that's like that you're a close friend.
Yes. Um, Let me see. So I always like to ask this to people. We'll go back to the other question. So what kind of garbage do you pick up, number one, and how many pounds of garbage do you pick up? And I guess that kind of goes into also where do you pick up this garbage from the waterways?
Yeah, so we see a lot of plastic pollution in our waterways. To go kind of like step one is where do we pick up? So right now, our project is based out of Fort Lauderdale, and we also have events in Key West, and we're bringing it to Orlando. In Fort Lauderdale, we work out of a park called Delaveau Park, which is in a lower income part of town with uh, homeless people kind of spending a lot of time in the park itself. And in that park, there is a river that runs right through it with a boat launch, so we can easily access the waterways that way. So with a population that is not as educated or cares as much about the environment, we see a lot of trash being dumped into our waterways intentionally, but we also see trash being washed in from the streets and the roadways from people that may litter. So we see a lot of plastic straws, plastic bottles, bottle caps, styrofoam, even things that are larger that people intentionally dump in, like we've picked out bicycles, we've picked out traffic cones, we've collected abandoned boats and all types of different things. But the biggest stuff that I see is the smallest pieces of plastic, which are straws, little bits of plastic bottles, and things that you would normally use on a day-to-day basis, that if you don't carefully dispose of them, they end up in our waterways.
Yeah. Oh wow. So like I like how you put the emphasis on plastic stuff. Like we are all so heavily, I guess, surrounded by plastic items, things that you would throw away, like plastic bottles and straws. And there's that whole big movement now to use things that you can reuse over and over again instead of throwing it out for after one use. So
Exactly.
yeah, so that's you see it firsthand how it can pollute a waterway so quickly. And I think that's important to know that, personal decisions like that, reusing certain things over and over again instead of just throwing them out after one purchase, helps the environment in your own area specifically too.
Totally. Especially where you are, you're in New York City, so that's an area that has lots of waterways.
Hmm.
And believe, as much as you might think that when you take something and throw it in the trash, it's going to be properly disposed of, a lot of that trash does end up in our waterways, even when you're putting it in the trash bin.
Yeah. Yeah, I always try to like remember that. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm buying this water bottle out of convenience, but if I just fill up my water bottle at home and bring it to school or different places, I actually help in even in the smallest of ways, like not
Exactly.
polluting the waterways around me. Yeah, thank
Exactly.
you. So
Yeah.
I have another question. So if you were to
I want
teach science, what subject or what type of science would you teach?
So I would teach, and I'm not a science teacher, but I love science from a child, from when I was a child. But I would teach natural science because I think it's so amazing to see how everything is intertwined in a way, and how we're all connected. And we're seeing that now with everything that's going on in our world. How a virus can go from one little city in China throughout the entire world. Our environment is all connected, and that's why I'm so focused on water, because water is one of the easiest transmitters of pollution and of nutrients. So we have to kind of um, understand that system, those ecosystems, and and then we can kind of better prepare for the way forward.
Yeah. Yeah, so like we learned about that in ecology earlier this year, like how everything is connected, living and non-living things, and how much we rely, especially on water systems, to keep other living things alive. Um,
Yeah,
but I was actually gardening the other day. I was outside in the backyard, and my husband has lived here in Staten Island for most of his life, and he was saying that some of the bugs that existed back when he was younger are coming back. So even just us not being outside so much right now is already making a little bit of an impact on the different ecosystems around us. And I guess after this all finishes, we need to remember to make sure that we take care of the different organisms that are around us, smaller, bigger animals. But
exactly. And understanding how you're impacting our natural life, so you
yeah,
can kind of live better in tune with it.
yeah. All right. Anything else you want us to, I don't know, to share with us about,
Yeah. So I wanted to just, ask your students to find different ways that they can get involved in their local communities. We love having volunteers down here in South Florida, especially students. We have college students, high school students. We've got church groups, um, all different types of demographics that come and have a great time on the waterway. And I just want to share that excitement and have your students kind of do what they can in their way to do that in their home. And we're making a big difference. One of the things that I wanted to mention is how much trash we've collected. So far we've collected over 14,000 pounds of trash.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're doing great, and even though every volunteer that comes to our event is picking up trash bit by bit, collectively, that's how much we've collected so
Wow.
far. So, if you're walking on the street, or, you are in the water and you see trash, just try to pick it up, because, with enough hands, you're going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, coming together collectively really does make a difference, right? So that's
Yeah,
why I feel like organizations like this, getting volunteers and just bringing awareness to our actions, really helps our impact, human impact on the environment. And yeah, so thank you,
exactly.
Bobby. Thank you, Robert, so much for taking your time out to
Yeah,
answer these questions. And if they come up with any other questions, I'll let you know so that you can answer them as well. Okay.
too.
Thank you.
See you soon in Florida.